as if like I'm always just gonna play my cards. So I would be extremely wary of trying to induce a bluff from this guy. So I think you just want to bet the flop, and he's gonna call with draws. So I just bet the flop and bet a lot of turns, and then check down the river and expect to get value from all of his draws.
Okay, I went to bluff catch mode. The turn brought a second flush draw. I bet too small here. The turn brought a second flush draw, and I decided that I wanted to get value from nines and sevens and either flush draw, and maybe even like king queen and queen jack, and obviously I should have bet like I think I should have bet like 80 or something, 80 or 100.
I bet
Um,
90.
yeah, if I went ahead and bet 55, and I don't know, I think it was kind of a weak bet size, but he calls, and the river's a seven of spades, which just kind of brings in everything, and I think he probably would have led the turn with an ace, or he might have led the turn, since like we said, he's playing kind of fit or fold with his hand. So I just don't really like any options except for check and kind of pray that one in like 10 times I'm good, but I'm probably not. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
and he just shows up with queens, which is not what I expect them to have. Oh, I just checked his location. You see that?
What was it?
It was like Stuttgart,
Yeah, that's
Stuttgart.
he's German.
Okay, interesting. Um, that makes sense also, I suppose. Although, yeah, like you said, I saw South America coming with Papa. I don't, but whatever. Anyway, so we've got fives here on the right hand side. I'm just gonna go ahead and open them because five is an awesome hand. You don't get pocket pairs a lot. I remember I read Phil Hellmuth's book, um, 5 years ago, or maybe like 8 years ago, or 6 years ago, and he was like, "Yeah, man, all the pocket pairs are good. And ace queen is good. And ace king is good." That's all I remember from that book. I
Started the
think
revolution, man.
I did or he did.
Tell you.
So,
Told us what was good and what was bad.
He started many revolutions.
10 commandments.
Yeah, I'm left hand. Go ahead.
With his top 10 hands, he only let you play 10 hands and no limit hold 'em. That was it.
That would leave you playing like one free flop and no limit, like not like really low VPIP. Am I right?
Yeah, you got to play like sixes or better, ace queen, ace king. That was it.
Wow. Left hand side, I make a pretty loose defend, but it's a 2.5x open. It's a loose defend, and it's definitely not one that I would endorse. But he only opened to 15, so I decided to defend it. Maybe something cool would come up. Comes Jack 10-3, two diamonds, and it goes check check. What do you think he has when it goes check check?
I would lead the flop first of all. But second of all, I would bet the turn. And on the flop, yeah. I mean, I think he's checking a ton of his range. Ace king, ace queen, ace jack, pocket fours to nines, and probably a hand like 10-9 suited a lot of the time as well. And so I think you're way ahead of his range on this turn.
Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, I think the turn is a no-brainer bet. I'm a little interested in hearing more about the flop bet because I would normally check the flop because I'm afraid I'm just not sure what to do if I get. I'm just not sure if I'm ready to play for stacks with this hand. So I'm just not like betting. It's like, oh, I'm excited to get in with Jack 10 on 10-3 deuce. I'm just not necessarily always in that mode because I just don't have a lot of info. So
Yeah,
how are you going to react to? Are you just going to kind of decide like bet and react to the raise by calling or doing something random, or what's your?
yeah, I think that was premature, and I think it's really close. If I bet, I'm going to call a raise and then check fold those turns. But that's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's just it's hard to. I think that it's going to be a tough hand to play in a lot of ways, but I chose to just go with sort of, I guess, what I would say is like the bluff catching line by checking the flop. But then once he checks back, I just have the green light.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I assume that you think anything between like 22 and 30 is fine. So I just bet 25 and 31. He calls pretty quick. Ace, king, ace, jack, pocket sixes, everything comes to mind.
Yeah, on this board, you definitely bet twice.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna bet twice, and he got a little lucky with the king queen. A little surprised that wasn't part of his bluff c betting range, since there's gonna be a lot of good two barrels for him and stuff. Or a decent amount of good two barrels, since I might check call once with a pocket pair, or I might check call with something, or I kind of thought that he would just c bet that on the flop, but whatever.
Yeah, people don't see bet enough anymore, I think.
It's interesting how that goes in cycles, but it definitely does. uh, BFL for me opens in the Under the Gun 1, and this odd set guy was posting, so I was like, oh, sick overlay, and I went ahead and flatted with 5-8 of spades and small. This
Nice man.
this is a little loose, I think. But I flopped two pairs, so I think this is a real, real good lead spot.
Yeah, of course.
And on the right hand side, I squeeze. Got the old ace of spades, card elimination, awesome. No one else had the ace of spades. Except maybe if we were playing on UV or something. Anyways, I bet 47. I think that might even be a little small. I want to, when I'm trying to keep people from pot controlling, I want to bet pretty fucking big. I mean, I want to bet pretty close to pot. I think there was like a little bit less than 60 in there. I want to say there was like 59, and I bet 47. I don't think it's terrible, but I would have rather I bet like 52 or 53. The turn's a 10, which it just doesn't really change too much. I pretty much think I have the green light. I don't think BFL ever has a better hand than me because I think he would just raise everything that's better than me, top two and sets and straights and whatever on the turn. Or on the flop, I mean, excuse me. So I think he would just raise everything. And so I just go ahead and bet again, and they both fold.
Pocket tens and 10-8.
Exactly, precisely. Right-hand side, I assume you think that my open is okay. It's a bad defend, obviously. But I thought that it would be funny since I had defended it earlier. Your thoughts on this board to bluff raise?
I would float more than I would bluff raise this board.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that we're just not repping enough of the value range by bluff raising. I think that's is a pretty. I mean, I don't really know how good a hand reader he is. I mean, if he's talking to his other buddies who play online poker from Seoul, then maybe he's not that good of a hand reader. So it might not matter that much. But I elected to go ahead and fold. I don't know. I thought about it, and I just kept being afraid to compound mistakes. I was just afraid to go all the way with my stupid ass plays.
Yeah, and he's from Seoul, like, you know.
He's just auto jamming ace jack on the flop, probably.
Yeah, because like you could have a draw and fuck it.
Ace jack's ahead of draws, ahead of straight draws. But yeah, no, I definitely agree that I'm not positive how nitty these guys are because I don't play a ton of 3-6, but these guys are. It's possible that they are. It's possible that they're nittier than I think they are, but there's just a ton of guys who I look at and I'm just like, oh wow, he's just never folding like ace high or second pair on this board, and I'm probably right. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I think there's a lot of guys who just are never folding things, so who knows? Anyways, right hand side open ace king again. I get no action. Too bad because I got 3-bet like 3 or 4 times in this video. I wasn't able to talk about 4-betting dynamics much because nothing cool ever really came up. Left-hand side, I had already decided to unclick auto post on the, I'd already decided I was going to end the video here in a second, so I actually unclick auto post on the right. I decided 3-bet on left-hand side. Your thoughts?
Seems fine. I think it's especially good since the guy opened 24 with the nut hand last time, so
right.
I like it a lot.
And this board, I just immediately went ahead and thought against this guy. I'm going to put the green light on and barrel him.
Yeah, I agree.
So he ended up just, it's pretty clear that he was probably playing fit or fold to me. So he did go ahead and just, fold relatively quickly. He didn't have a pair, or he didn't have a draw, or whatever. So